the organization. This is a quick plan with me, and I'm going to lose all light in this video, but I still think you can tell what I do, and I didn't want to just waste the video. I like several of the things that I did in here, and I was wanting to share the inspiration. So here I'm using one of my weekly inserts, and then I'm just opening up Noteful on the side and my spring stickers to kind of get started. This particular layout, I did a lot more stickers. I normally don't decorate this much until the week of. But this week I actually did a lot more decorating. I'm still getting used to Noteful. I thought I could drag the sticker over, and I'm still just forgetting things whenever I go to use Noteful. But I do love Noteful so much better than GoodNotes for the different techniques that it has. So I decided to take off that rounded edge, and on the left hand side you could see it was a little bit blurry and rounded as well, so I went ahead and cropped off that side as well. So this leaves me with 4 really big shapes, and I needed to make it 8. So I added in a square in Noteful, changed it to white, and then just added a divider down the center to where it would make 8 boxes instead of 4. And this will allow me to track my whole week. And then from here, I go and add in some stickers. Now I moved these stickers around quite a bit. I did not edit out very much of this video at all. I did fast forward it just a little bit just because in real time it takes so much more time. But I wanted to kind of give you guys an idea of just literally how I'm doing it from start to finish. I did not skip hardly anything in this Plan With Me video. So I'm just adding in some of my favorite stickers. These are all from the majority of these are from March 2021, if I'm not mistaken. 2021 or 2022, I can't remember. But I love that pack. The top half of my sticker pack there was from like 2022 maybe, and the bottom half was 2021. So I used just those 2 kits pretty much for all of these stickers except for the weekly background here. I'm just kind of decorating and trying to use all of my favorite stickers. I normally don't do this. I normally do all of my planning first, all of my appointments, all of my checklists, and that sort of thing first. But this one, I decided to do something a little bit different. I do not have all of my stickers in my sticker pile yet on Noteful, so I'm just using what I have. It took me just a minute to realize that I have these on a locked layer. So you can see me trying to do it time after time again, and then I finally realize, why is this not working? And I go up and I check my layers. But it takes me a minute, as you can tell. So see, I'm just like all of you guys. I'm trying to troubleshoot, and by this point, it's 7 o'clock at night, and I'm wondering what in the world is going on. And then I'm like, oh, hey, layers, it's on my locked layer. So that's one thing you do have to get used to. Whenever I added these layers, I added them after I had already made several things, and then I added the layer. So it's always good to get your layers set up from the very beginning whenever you import a PDF. I had to go and lasso all these and move them to my edit layer because by default, they're on that first layer, which is the layer that I named locked. So I had to just go do that. Once I figured that out, everything worked as it should. It just took me a minute. But I wanted to leave all that in there. Everything doesn't go perfect every time that I plan. And it's just a process. Every time we learn, sometimes we forget the most obvious stuff, and it's okay. Just keep trying and it'll work. I had all those highlighted. They already have low opacity, but you could make them a low opacity in Noteful if they were not. So that's a great feature that Noteful has. Next up, I am going to add in some day names, and I decide to just use day names that I already have, but I didn't have them in Noteful yet. So I switched over to GoodNotes, and I add in this really pretty loopy font is what I like to call this one. And then I cropped all of them down to where they just had the first 3 letters of each day. And I love them just in the center of those big chunky numbers. I love the contrast between the thick and the thin. So that's what I'm doing next. I'm just trying to look at the S's or the O's and trying to make sure my letters are around the same size. I do end up taking off that S. So I grabbed 4 letters on that one, but for the most part, I did 3. I had no idea that you could see my son's little hand. He was asking if he could have some gummies. That's hilarious. I didn't know that until right now. Okay, so it's getting pretty dark, but you can still see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to leave all of this in here. I'm adding in all of the days of the week, doing the same process to all of them. I like doing batches of things like this, and it would be a great idea to save that stuff to Elements so you could use them in the future and you wouldn't have to do that batch part if you didn't want to. I loved how the little fox kind of went behind that number, and then I'm trying to figure out if I want to use the kite or the plant. I don't feel like I'll use both of them, so I'm just trying to figure out which one I want to use. They're kind of both tall, skinny, And I may end up using both of them. I can't remember how this all turns out, but I do love the flowers on top of the Hello Spring. And then I'm trying to have that plant go off the page, but I just feel like it's too much. Yep. So I delete the plant and then I kind of rearrange this kite to where you can see a little bit of it down toward the bottom where it comes back in just a little bit. And then I'm just rearranging a few things here. So I'm moving the fox to where he's halfway off or she's halfway off. And then I end up just using one of these, the one with the flowers coming off. So I do that. And then next up, I grab a background. So I go to my spring backgrounds and I grab, this has to be one of my most used favorite backgrounds. I love the little tulip look in the background. So I just move that to my lock layer and I move that to the back so you can kind of see that peeking through all the spring on the right hand side. And then I thought, what if I used the same background and did a checklist? So that's what we're going to do next. I like to change my toolbar to be on the left-hand side when I'm doing portrait. So as you can see there, I cropped just the little flower out and hit done. And then I'm making it about the size that I want it to be, and I just duplicate it to make 3 of them. And then once I make 3 of them, I group them together. You'll see here in just a moment. So I'm probably writing out my, yes, I'm writing out my list of things first, and then I'll come back to that. So here I'm just looking for a font that I want to use on the spread. I just downloaded like 20 or 30 new fonts. So I'm having fun with trying different ones of those for this week. Although, yeah, I may have just used Wilk for this week, which is actually an older font that I had, WILK. I love this font. It's like a medium thickness and I just love the writing and it's very like straight up and down. It's not cursive or fancy at all. And as you can see, I'm just going through different ones to see what I like the look of. And then I finally decide on not that font. I decided on a different font. I think I had to take a break for just a second. My kids must have been yelling at me. Okay, so I'm changing this font. I think this is what I end up using. So Apricots, I believe is the name of this font, if I'm remembering correctly. And that's what I end up going with on this layout for that. I try to do colors. It really wasn't popping very good. It wasn't showing up very good. So I ended up going with white. I changed everything back to white. Um, and here I'm just adding in my main appointments for the week. So that's what I like doing. I'm moving all of those numbers and stuff to the locked layer so I don't have to worry about those moving around or me grabbing them anymore. And as you can see, I'm really trying to use a color. I don't think I may use the yellow. I can't remember. Nope, I'm going back to white. I don't remember what I do. Yeah, I go back to white. Okay. That just made it, I could just read it so much better if I kept it in white, but I really wanted to use some colors. So here I'm going back to this checklist, or actually, no, I'm cropping this down. I forgot that I did that. Okay, so I'm making this checklist. I just duplicate 3 right on top of each other, and then I lasso and I group them. So you just go over and hit group, and then I'm duplicating them. So they're all in a group now. And I'm just positioning them where I want them. I do it Monday through, actually, I think I did it Monday through Saturday or Sunday. I normally don't do it on every day of the week, but I think I did this week. And then I just duplicate my main appointment, like font size, font style, all of that. And then I just duplicate and paste it on all the pages and just change it out for what I need for each day. So I've got like a music practice, I've got a staff meeting, I had a funeral to go to. Um, and then music practice, all the appointments I make. Usually I only have one big appointment for each day, so this works out well. So here I'm switching. Sometimes I do the cursive E on top and the straight on bottom, and then I change it up to give it a little bit of something different. And then after I do all of that, I am making sure things are moved to the locked layer that need to be moved to the locked layer, and then I'll start adding my checklist here in just a moment. I'm adding in a couple more appointments. I decided to do this one different and do it all caps. So I'm trying to put spring fling and I'm trying to decide if I want it to be cursive or um, lowercase and which one I want on top, which one I want on bottom, if it needs a space in between it. And that made it too big. So just trying to figure out, depending on the size of your word and all that kind of stuff, it kind of plays into, how you want it to look. So I decided no spaces. And I try to put, yeah, spring on top. I can't remember. I think that's the way that I left it. So hit resize and then just kind of place it where I want it. And then I think I do change the color on this one because the white, it wasn't showing up very good with white on white. So yeah, I changed it to that darker pink color and I love how that turned out. Okay. Nope, I'm trying to change it again. Maybe I leave it yellow, but now rewatching this, I kind of wish I would have left it pink. Um, yeah, either one of those. I must have left it yellow because that looks like where I'm deciding at. So it's okay to change your mind, and it's okay to do really quick spreads and not to overthink things and just, get it done if that's what you need to do. And then other times, if you've got time to play around and make it exactly what you want it, there's times for that too. I didn't have a big appointment. It's just pretty much spring fling this day, and I did not have time to do a checklist. This day I'm going to be gone all day. So I'm going to put that pressure on myself. So I put these cute little flowers just around the day and to show that I'm going to be gone to spring fling all that day. So I thought that turned out super cute using these as individual elements as well as just your background. So I'm going through down through here to change my size and get everything set up just right so I can copy and paste this onto each checklist. So here I am just making it exactly how I need it, and then I will duplicate these and use these on each day. Okay. So after I write in those products, I think I show our products. After I write in those to-do lists, I think I show you on one more, a couple of the checklist items that I did. And then I did fast forward the rest of it because I know that can be time consuming and you guys know that you guys are going to have your own checklist. So I just copied all three of those and pasted those on each one by the flowers. So they're all ready to go. All I had to do is double click to change out my checklist for that day. We're going to skip on to the next part, and I believe I'm just about done. I have to go ahead and add something else to this Wednesday grocery pickup that I have planned, and that's it. That's just about how my week turned out. I loved using those little tulips. It brought a really fun aspect to it. Oh, and this is another way that I'm loving using my photos. I just went to add a border, and you can change that border to whatever color you want to where it automatically looks like it has a frame around the picture. I love that for the times that you don't feel like going to look for a frame. It's totally doable just to add that border onto your photo. Another feature that I absolutely love inside of Noteful. And then next up, I'm just drawing lines. If anybody knows how to make your pen to actually stay in this dotted thing. I know you can set up different colors, so maybe that's what I need to look into. Maybe it'll let me do that. But so far I have to like draw the line and then go to lasso it and then change it to dotted. So if anybody knows a trick to that, please let me know. I'm still very new to Noteful, and so I would love to know if you guys have a trick for that. I'm changing everything to the smaller dotted or dashed line there over on the right. It doesn't show the imperfections as bad, and I love the dotted look. So that is how my spread turned out. Hopefully this gives you guys some inspiration. I'll see you on the next one.